At the Battle of Klissow, the brave Saxons march out to confront the evil Swedish army. So this is my Great Northern War collection, or at least start of the collection. I assembled these some time ago. It's all Baccus figures. You see here, there's the Saxon force that's still growing. The Saxon general and some Saxon artillery, cavalry, and again all Baccus figures. So I've always had an interest in this period, this conflict, and I had built part of this army, part of the Swedish army for this conflict years ago with the Baccus 6mm figures. The problem was the sculpts weren't, I don't want to say weren't great, but the bayonets were very, very fiddly. So most of the bayonets fell off the figures. So I kind of gave that up because I'm a little OCD with the bayonets. And when bayonets falling off, I don't want them on my armies. It bothers me that it doesn't look right. So Baccus actually redid the range, I think, a few years ago. And then I started to assemble forces again. So there's the Swedes. So these are all the new Baccus figures, which I think are beautiful. And you see the kind of the pikes in the middle, and then the new Swedish infantry, some commanders, some artillery. The thing, also a cool part about this period is you don't need too many guns, because you're talking about the early 18th century, not the Napoleonic period. There's some casualties. Again, all Baccus figures, some more Swedes. The Swedish cavalry. So again, all 6mm, the general, and then I'll show you here, pan out to my other commander. I think that's Rennenkampf. And then Charles XII himself, which Baccus actually makes a figure for Charles XII. Not on the litter that he wore that he used at Poltava, but there he is, Charles XII. And then again, the Saxons. So again, all the figures are from Baccus. The trees are mostly homemade. What I did with these, I wanted 6mm trees. So what if you look really close, you can see there, I used screws, and I put Woodland Scenics. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called tufts on there, and not tufts, clump foliage on there. And I made the trees. I think those are just some regular Woodland Scenic trees, small ones. And then these trees here, I think there's a lot of different techniques online to do these, but they're really just pipe cleaners, glued onto some bases, and then kind of painted a little bit more brown. And they're supposed to be pine forests. I'm still mixed if I like them. I think they look okay. Not amazing, but they look all right, especially with the church in the background. Those churches, that church and the village over there are from Told Battle Miniatures. They're actually from the 3mm range, which I think looks really good with these 6mm figures. If you pan out, it really looks like, because each figure is supposed to represent like 20 to 50 men. So that looks pretty good. It's a smaller footprint. So a lot of times people ask me what rules. I don't play many games because I just don't have time. I don't have space. I don't have people really to play with. So, but I have been reading some rules for it, and the one I've been reading is this one here, Twilight of the Sun King, Birth of the Age of Reason. And if I was going to play a game, which would probably be solo, I would want to try those rules. They seem pretty good, and not. I have an issue with rules that are overly complicated. I don't have a lot of time to learn rules, so these are. Actually, read them once, read them twice, and then looked at some. There's some really good YouTube videos out there explaining how to play, and I think I kind of got the idea. So that's the only thing is there's a different battle in the book, order of battle. So I'm going to try to build maybe forces for that order for that battle with the Swedes instead of the Saxons. I think it's Danish in that battle. But so there's the forces. I'm just kind of rambling on here. But there's the forces for the Great Northern War. Again, all Baccus figures. The mat you see them is, I think, just the grass mat from Cigar Box, which I think also is a really cool mat. And then the river there, believe it's eBay. Fast Frank, I think is again, he makes really cool stuff. So there's a river you can just put on the mat here. And then there again, clump foliage, kind of, I don't know if those are trees or maybe like a bush area. So let me pan in again to the figures. So you see the Great Northern War stuff. And yeah, I saw recently that Adler is winding down business. That's what I was using for my 6mm 7 Years War. So I'm moving a lot more to 10mm with 7 Years War. And I was thinking also of some of the Baccus figures, just looking at how nice these look. For rules like this, they have Twilight of the Sun King, and then I think they have Twilight of the Soldier Kings. So I was thinking maybe if it's a similar rules, maybe to look at that and build some armies in 6mm with Baccus for the 7 Years War. But that would be a long time from now. So again, there's just the Swedes and the Saxons, and I have French and Dutch that I'm building. But that's for the War of Spanish Succession. So here's the Great Northern War figures, and I hope everyone enjoyed.